Yeah.
Nice.
I've been on the treadmill, but nobody told me I should have got out of the wheelchair. So we're going live on YouTube, and hopefully someone can tell me. Coral, could you let me know?
Yeah, I'll let you know. We're trying to pull it up right now.
Okay.
We're just...
Coming
Sophia's very excited because she saw you up on the TV and she said, "Watch Papa again."
Right on.
Do you make her watch you perform all the time, Chris?
Yeah.
Thanks, baby dad.
Captive audio.
I'm looking.
How do we?
Okay, there you go.
Okay.
How do we?
I see it.
There's probably a delay, but it's going. So,
Oh yeah, I see it. It's up.
let's see. And Candace said she was coming in. This might be her, the galaxy, and Pam coming in. Yeah. 1 minute.
Ron, you look satisfied.
Oh. Are you there, Pam? Maybe.
I installing the panels.
Yeah. So she's muted.
Pam up there. Her mic is.
I'm here, Chris.
Okay, cool.
Who's Molly?
Molly is Sarah's daughter.
Oh shoot, we've met. I'm sorry, Molly. I didn't recognize you. You're like this big.
She's also a powerful drug.
She's on a powerful drug. Oh, Molly. Yeah.
Is
Oh,
powerful.
yeah.
Yeah, that's all the loving it.
Yeah, like you've never heard that before, huh, Molly?
Tony.
Exactly. So,
Then there's Mr. Chavez. Chavez.
I don't see them in.
On the Galaxy S20 5G.
Oh, okay.
Then he disappeared. Then he's connected, and then he disappeared. Now he's connected.
Okay.
I think he's shaving or something. What are you doing there, Tony? What's up, Tony?
What's up, T?
I'm here.
There you are.
So, Frankie is late as usual.
He must be driving. He must be driving to the show.
Yeah. Here's Frankie P now. Are you there,
Hey,
Frank?
there he is.
Hey, yo, Frank.
Can you
What's up, Frankie?
Hey.
And can you hear me, Frank? Are you there? Is your audio working?
Is Frankie and Douglas in the same building because they have the same posters?
Yeah. No, not same building. Let's see what was her background. I didn't even look. Hello,
No,
mother.
like,
I'm in the garage.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So Amber Shuck's wife, who I affectionately call Donkey, is watching on YouTube with Shuck's daughter, Abby. Hello. So,
Right.
are we missing anybody performance-wise? John,
Candace said she's about to hop on.
okay, cool. I'll let her on when I see her, and I'm letting other people on now. Let me try to figure out how to start my own video. That would probably be a good idea. Okay.
You're half a beard away of being Santa. I like it.
Well,
I like it.
I told Sophia that Papa was Santa, and she says, no, the Easter Bunny.
Yeah, she wanted Papa to be the Easter Bunny.
Yes, so let me,
Did you explain to her how rabbits are very mobile?
well, rabbits are also fertile, so that would explain the 5 kids.
That explains a lot, yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, let me try to frame myself. Okay.
Better write a little.
You're right. Okay.
Oh, you're
Is that good? Am I pretty?
now your other right.
My other right. Yeah. Okay. We'll get started. Welcome all of you. Happy Thanksgiving. I hope that everybody had plenty of turkey. Obviously, I'm Chris Fonseca. I think no one confirmed that today. Yeah. But we're doing a show today to honor our late friend Joe Luna, who was like my bodyguard, and I called him Shrek because he was a big old bald guy, and he was awesome. He helped me out a lot for over a decade, which I guess God said, okay, that's enough. You're in. You know, so anyway, uh, when I was growing up, I wanted to be Elvis. Ooh. And now doing the Zoom shows, I kind of feel like Elvis because they only show me from the waist up. I did go to Graceland a couple times, and I was there, and some guy kept yelling, "You look like Elvis! You look like Elvis!" I finally said, "Hey, shut up and help me off the bathroom floor." You know, I'm used to doing video chats with my granddaughter, Sophia, so I always have props. And what's funny is I have to use them with my best friend Vincent too. But the
Not
other
joking.
day, I was video chatting with Sophia, and I see her
It's a video online show.
screen, and I wondered what she was doing. I think she was trying to fast forward to season 2 because season 1 was boring. So anyway, let's get this show started. I will hand it over to Fitz. Let me find him here. Oh,
Come on, keep-
okay. Okay. Here is.
Over here.
Yeah. The big white guy.
Yes, the big white guy. There I am.
Ah, there you are.
Yeah.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving.
A big round of applause for Chris working his ass off for you. Okay, let me ask you, now that 2020 is almost over, who wishes 2020 was a fucking blur?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, me too. This year, mid-shutdown, I turned 51 years old. Everybody around here in New York, for their birthdays, they were getting drive-by birthday parades. My drive-by, my house was riddled with bullets. Every year around my birthday, my parents bust my balls. Key, when are you going to cut your hair? I keep telling them never, because when I get old enough, this becomes the ultimate comb-over. I'm running for president in 2024. I have things going wrong with my body now that I'm in my 50s, not like I was in my 20s. Things like I have joints that are starting to predict the weather, which is kind of weird for weed, don't you think? Now I know who my weed smokers are on here. All right. I get Charlie horses at some of the most inopportune times, right? My wife comes out in this sexy negligee, and I'm getting a stiffy in my calf. I'm rubbing out my calf. She says, Key, get over yourself. You're Irish. You're not that big. I have diabetes now. My doctor says I absolutely have to stay away from candy, which is strange because they've been telling me the same thing at the strip club for years. Fellas, one bit of advice. The strip club, our dollar store. So now I tell my wife I'm going to the dollar store. It explains why I come home covered in glitter. I was in the arts and crafts section. I'm saying things I never thought in my life. Things like I remember when. Things like I remember when sticking it to the man was not the slogan promoting gay marriage. I remember when. I remember when that joke didn't get a cough. Yeah, I remember when. I remember when a GPS was the woman sitting next to you in the car. Stop and ask for directions, will you? Ask him. Ask him. Ask him. Recalculating. I remember when standing in the bushes outside somebody's bedroom window was called hopelessly romantic. And you hold up that big boom box over your head, playing that cheesy 80s music. Do you want my body? And you think I'm sexy? Come on, baby, let me know. I remember when Plan B contraception was see ya. Apparently it still is. I remember when streaming is what got R. Kelly in trouble. I remember when a cell phone was calling from prison. I remember when a gender reveal party was a Central Park flasher. I remember when the original iPad was Etch-a-Sketch and delete was. I felt bad for anyone with Parkinson's. Yeah. I remember when kids with ADD were simply cured by saying, shut up! I remember when going to the bathroom was not a Facebook status. I remember when every morning I would wake up and get morning wood. I'm so glad I got out of prison. And I remember when I used to be able to move into a new neighborhood, not have to sign on to one of those online predator lists. What the hell did I know? I thought Little League was synonymous with nudist colony. Batter up! All right, so I mentioned my wife. Thank you for not clapping. My wife's a great woman. When she sleeps at night, she covers herself she curls herself up in the covers, kind of like some sort of cocoon. So in the morning, I'm expecting this beautiful butterfly, right? No. Instead, I get Mothra. Caw. I'm expecting good morning, dear. Instead, I got stop poking me with that thing. My wife, she's Italian, but when people ask her what nationality she is, she has to break it down into subparts. So she has to break it down, and she's Sicilian and Napolitan, like she's ordering a freaking pizza. So now I introduce her around. Hi, this is my wife. She's half Sicilian, half regular. And because she's Italian, you know what she does really well? And you know, today's Thanksgiving part, right? Yeah. She talks with her fucking hands. She has a good day. She starts talking like a pissed off black woman. You know what he said to me then? I have to bob and weave like Muhammad Ali. Yeah. Her best day, I ended up with 2 black eyes. We were outside having a conversation in the parking lot one time. Somebody called the cops, a domestic disturbance call. The cops came, guns drawn. Excuse me, lady, back away from the conversation. Now, I don't know why I'm doing this gangster style, but fuck it, I'm going to do it that way anyway. Lady, put your hands down and tell Officer O'Malley what happened. So, she wants to spice up our sex life in the bedroom. Now, me being a man of girth, she wants to bring food into the bedroom. So me being a man of girth, I think this is the ultimate threesome. Next time we got hot and heavy, I brought in a meatloaf. She looked me dead in the eye. She says, "Key, what the hell are you doing? Stop having sex with that meatloaf. You're making it more into a sloppy Joe." Okay, some of these jokes are just for me, people. Anyway, tell you another little something about my wife. She just had a baby.
Hey.
Okay.
Thank you. That is until hospital security caught up with her. We tried. We have. I have a medical condition. It's called my cockshoes blanks, and so we decided we were going to adopt. Now, something funny happened that we adopted. See, now when we adopted, my wife thought she could breastfeed. Now I found this weird because we adopted a goldfish. She thought it was hungry because it went. So I sprinkled some flakes on her tits. I don't know about the goldfish. I ate well that night. All right. I am also a musician. I sing in a band. When I tell people this, they always ask me the same question. When did the Partridge Family reunite? I look like Danny Partridge after he ate the other children. I was in a death metal band for diabetics. We were called Death by Chocolate. Before I met my wife, I was with my band one night. We were partying all night long. And I got to tell you, it was great that night. I went home with this girl. I was getting me some, and it was really a wonderful night. Except she was insulting me the whole time. Seriously, she was calling out some other guy's name. Who names their kid Rape? Most people get who's your daddy. I got who are you? And that's the night I met my wife. And to prove to you that I am a musician, I'm going to play a couple songs for you guys real quick. First song I like to play for you is a little song I like to call the premature ejaculation song. Goes something like this. Oh, thank you. All right. My wife and I, we've been married for many, many years. On our 10th year anniversary, she asked me to write her a love song. I did. I want to play that for you guys now. I just need the right mood lighting. If the light guy would dim the light so I can get the perfect mood lighting, that's perfect. Thank you. All right. The song goes something like this. I'm at home completely wasted and I'm working down. There's my wife, she won't stop trying, she won't shut her mouth. I don't know what she's saying, so blah, 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 blah. If she don't shut her trap, I'll say, don't suck in her mouth. Go, she's breaking my balls, 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 breaking my balls. A lot of married people online, I see. I'm at home, she won't stop crying, she won't shut her trap. Just because I came from the dollar store and somehow caught the clap. I don't know what she's saying, I don't have a clue. If I did, I would be stealing banging prostitutes. Go, she's breaking my balls, breaking my balls, breaking my balls, breaking my. All right, fuck it. Thank you. One last song, real quick. It's not completed yet. It's just a work in progress, but I think I can get away with it with you guys. It's a little song I like to call I like to call the Crazy Cat Lady song. Goes something like this. I'm just going to play you the parts that I know of it. Show me your pussy. Cat lady. That's all I got. What do you guys think? Thank you for everything on P-Pits.
Thank you very much. How about a big hand?
Woo! All right.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Those are great love songs you got. I'm gonna have to buy a CD for Valentine's Day. Now, next up we have my friend in Colorado Springs, Sarah, who goes by the stage name of Sarah Be Serious. And let's
Hello.
go.
Oh, wow. Hi, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. Shall I start? Shall I? Okay. Yeah. Well, you know, we didn't have a big family gathering here at my place. It's okay. I'm not good at small talk. So I don't do well at parties and things. If I seem a little down in the mouth right now, it's because my Mercury fillings are in retrograde. Yeah, I don't have a significant other right now. For a while, I dated a subatomic particles nuclear physicist. He was the half-life of the party I met him at. I'm not sure what went wrong, but recently he had a meltdown and he moved to Casper and he ghosted me.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I've been doing a little bit of dating since then. I went on a blind date with a cartoonist. I'm not good at the small talk though. He tried. So Sarah, tell me, are you a cat person? Are you a dog person? I said, well, actually, I prefer sushi. I said, you know, I bet I can guess what your favorite cookie is. And the cartoon says, okay, go for it. And I said, snickerdoodle. He said, you know, that sounds suspiciously like a dad joke to me. I said, well, yes, it is, because I slept with your mom when I wrote it. Good with the small talk. So he said, tell me a little bit about yourself. I said, okay, I'm 16 and dyslexic. Okay, maybe I get a couple of those numbers transposed, but don't I look great for 91? I've always looked young for my age. I can remember when I was in kindergarten, a man leaning down and saying, what, you're only 5? It looks like you've still got gills. So I was telling him a little bit about myself. I said, okay, on one hand, I'm like ambidextrous, but on the other hand, I'm not. I have Twitter phobia. It's not what you think. Basically, I have the fear that nobody is following me. I do miss my grandpa at this time of year. You know, he's been gone quite a while, but he used to have the coolest sayings. He used to say things like, if I had a nickel for every time someone said a penny for your thoughts, I'd put in my 2 cents worth. And my, let's see, he also said, you know, all those women in the South named Delta, not one guy named Peninsula. Geography joke, everybody. It's pretty cool. My favorite saying from Grandpa was, Sarah, no man is an island, but some are incontinent. What's that supposed to mean, Grandpa? He said, depends. So I actually wrote some jokes for you with the Christmas season coming up just around the corner. So here we go. I'm going to start out with 4 bar jokes. Christmas tree walks into a bar and says, bartender, give me a beer. The bartender said, I don't think so. And the Christmas tree said, why not? And the bartender says, well, you look pretty lit already. Lenora walks into a bar, runs into a Christmas tree on its way out. The Christmas tree says, don't bother going in. The bartender's a jerk. And besides, you look half lit already. Beautiful woman walks into a bar, sits down and says to the guy next to her, "Hey, Quasimodo, can I buy you a drink?" And he's like, "Well, sure, but first, how'd you know my name?" And she winks and says, "Lucky hunch."
No.
Okay, and the last bar joke. A chicken runs into a bar and says, "Bartender, quick, I need a punchline for this joke." And the bartender says, "Sorry, I am all out, but you might try across the road."
Oh.
Did you hear the one about the embezzler? Oh, wait, you're not going to get that. That's an inside joke. So I'm a little worried about the Christmas season because that's when I had the most trouble with my addictions. I have a gingerbread addiction, though my doctor tells me that it has a technical term. It's called Munchausen's syndrome. And this is the time of year that I really have to keep an eye on my mom because whenever it snows, she loves it. Her favorite winter sport is making angels in the snow. Of course, to you and me, it's called hit and run. I don't like this COVID. It leads me to a lot of time by myself and thinking about existential questions and philosophical, dilemmas like, okay, this one came to me the other day. If a comic tells a joke in the forest and no one is there to see the tree fall on him, is it still funny? Oh, I'm so looking forward to Thanksgiving dinner. Haven't had it here yet. As soon as I'm done here, that's what I'm going to go do. Last night, it did not go so well. I was trying to fix my dinner and I accidentally spilled some pancake mix in with my ground beef and I ended up having Flappy Joe's for dinner. Sleep last night because I had insomnia. That's where you can't sleep because you got that stupid ABBA song running through your head. I was out with a friend of mine. She the other day she reached down and brushed a spider off the side of her foot, and all of a sudden she was freaking out. "Oh my God! I just found a lump down there. What if that spider just laid an egg sac under my skin? What if it's cancer?" And I'm like, "Whoa, calm down, little Miss Muffet, calm down." Now, in all seriousness, you're a hypochondriac, but you look great. You've lost weight. I think you found your ankle. Well, let's see. What shall I close with? Let me think. Okay, I'm going to close with this. It's, I was in Manitou and I was in a bar and I looked up and I saw a boat hanging from the ceiling. So I called the bartender over. I said, "Excuse me, is that an authentic North Pacific Alaskan two-seater Aleutian kayak hanging up there?" And he said, yes, it is. And I said, "I knew it." And he said, "No, it's pronounced Inuit." Well, thank you for giving me this time and giving me a chance to shine. Everybody, I hope you shine doing what you do and have a happy holiday season. Thank you.
Thank you,
Back
sir.
to Chris.
Yeah, better be
Thanks, sir.
Sarah was talking about her grandpa. My grandpa gave me great advice. He once told me, if all your friends would jump off a bridge, who the fuck would push you home?
I love that.
So next we got, I think our youngest comic from Pueblo, Colorado, Douglas Stern. Douglas, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can everybody hear me?
I hear you.
Yeah, take it
All
away.
right. All right. I like how you said our youngest comic because I'm turning 35 in about 2 days, so I don't always feel the youngest in my group these days. I want to tell you guys a little bit about me. This is my first Zoom meeting, actually, so this is really neat. The last video chat I was on costed me $14 a minute. A refreshing change from that. I am from Pueblo, Colorado. I'm a Sagittarius, so I know Sarah would probably relate to that, but I know what that is. But Sagittarius is known for traveling. Recently, back in March, I thought it would be a good idea to go to the Philippines. In hindsight, 2 weeks later, about 65,000 people got coronavirus, and I was stuck in the Philippines for 2 months, or about a month and a half. And I noticed it was pretty crazy being out there, right? Like, I fat shaming, right? Fat shaming. I don't mean to look at anybody, Matt, but people that experience these things, it's not cool. But skinny shaming is also a thing, right? Like, I was in the Philippines, in a third world country, and people were coming up to me like, "You need to eat, bro." It made me feel bad. And I was like, I would, but I spend 30 cents a day so I can help them too. But it was refreshing because like it felt like everywhere I go, like I got to, as a comedian, as somebody who likes to just talk to people and soak it in, I got to have some pretty nice conversations. I remember I was talking to this German guy, and he was judging the hell out of America, in his deep German accent. And he said, "Oh, America's no good because you have the death penalty, and I don't believe anybody should be killed." And I had to remind him that he's from Germany. And I'm like, you guys kind of filled your quota. Like, that's kind of the chance you have to have at this point in your life. Like, you guys have, killed enough for everybody. So, I mean, it's different. But like, I've been able to go around to a lot of different places. A couple of years back, I worked in Alaska as a Alaska fisherman, commercial Alaska fisherman in the Bering Sea. And no bullshit. And just as Key said, he used to get the same question all the time. I get the same question all the time, although the question's a little different. It's like burning inside Vince's head right now. I could see it. He's like, "Oh my God, is he gonna be on Deadliest Catch?" Like, no, I'm not. I wasn't on Deadliest Catch. My 15 seconds of fame was that time I was on Dateline NBC to catch a predator. I wasn't one of the perverts. No, that wasn't my style. I was that voice in the background that was like, "I'll be right out. Help yourself to some cookies." Vincent can down some cookies pretty fast. You guys remember that episode? We were there. But no, I mean, I realized like being a world traveler and being all these different places, being a comedian, I realized like jokes have certain geographical locators, but humor is universal, right? Like if shit's funny, it'll be funny everywhere. But certain jokes have certain geographical locators. Like for example, in Alaska, their definition of a joke was Sarah Palin. Here where we live in Pueblo, Colorado, our definition of a joke is the Pueblo Police Department. No, it's okay. I am allowed to say that because I've been in jail more times than the average black guy. And that's not racist at all. That's not racist. It is a statistic. I've looked this up on the internet, and the average black guy goes to jail 12 times their life. I'm working on 13, but I didn't drive anywhere tonight, so no DUI for me tonight. But no, all the times I've been in jail, like I'll always remember the first time. The first time was the most surprising. Matter of fact, it was downright shocking. I got my first cavity search ever. The shocking part was it was performed by Ron's nephew, Paco. Paco didn't find anything, but we still talk. Matter of fact, he just poked me the other day on Facebook. It brought back some city memories. No, but frankly, like I got to be honest with you guys. All the times I've been in jail, which is a lot, I've never actually been like raped or sexually accosted in jail. And quite frankly, at this point in my life, I'm almost 35 fucking years old. I'm kind of like, what's so wrong with me? You know what I mean? Like, it's not like I want that, but it would feel nice to feel wanted on an occasion, right? Like I can't do this joke in Pueblo because we're known for things like having the #1 COVID rate in the last 7 days. We're not known for things like being good at math and stuff. So I thought it humorous that Chris would put the wordsmithing Sarah, who's just a master of words, and then have her followed by the stoner who can't read. That was great. But no, but you know, in Pueblo, we're so fertile, even our joints are pregnant. Like this is what we're known for. But what I want to tell you guys is one time you have to stick with me on this. This was the worst time I ever went to jail. Because I went to jail for 5 weeks, right? I came out and my wife was pregnant. I went to the doctor and I'm like, how far along is she? He said, she's 4 to 6 weeks pregnant. And I'm like, which is it? Is it 4 or is it 6? Because it's a pretty big difference considering the
Oh, shit.
win, right? As it would turn out, I am a father to 2 very beautiful baby girls. We heard some love for that. Can I get some love for that, guys?
Yeah.
Girl dad.
I love when people clap at that because there's really no accomplishment like on my end, right? Like all that proves for me is that rice and ramen noodles aren't the only thing I can make in under a minute. You know, I make these beautiful things. Because I'm not like a very good dad. Like I try, but I do dumb shit, right? Like I remember the baby was a newborn. My wife said, put the baby's diaper on. I said, I don't think that's gonna fit me, first of all. She said, oh my God, the baby got 2 teeth. I said, let me know when she gets a job. I mean, I used to get parenting advice from my parents. They would always, you know, you have to do this with your kids, do that with your kids. That only stopped when I reminded them how I turned out, right? I was like, y'all already had your chance. Y'all screwed that one up. Let me have a crack at it. You know, but it was a pivotal moment in my life because I started to realize when I was becoming a man, you know, having a child in the house. And I realized this because my daughter was a newborn. She had a little bit of jaundice. You guys know what that is? You've heard of jaundice before. She, you know, doc said she'll be just fine. Put a little bit of light on her, she said. Well, me being a pothead, I used the only light I had. My 1,000-watt King LED grow lights. But don't worry, guys, don't call DSS on me. The baby did just fine. She grew like a weed that week. It was like 76 ounces in 1 week. Growth was phenomenal. But, you know, it got me to a point where I wanted to pass something on to my kids. I grew up in a very Mexican prominent town. And so I grew up knowing things about gente and understanding, you know, things that people had respect for their culture. And I wanted that shit. I wanted to pass that on to my daughter. But I didn't know what the hell I was. So I did that ancestry.com thing where you send them a vial of your blood and it came back that I had a warrant for my arrest. And then it also came back that I was Caucasian. And that was the surprising part. I was like, oh shit, I'm Caucasian. I didn't even know where Caucasia was. So I'll admit it, I had to do some research. I got on the Google and I Googled Caucasia. Don't do this because you get a bunch of Chinese dick pictures all throughout Caucasia. It's just dick pictures. And it makes me feel really bad for the rest of the Caucasian nation, you know? I mean, so that was something I had to sweep under the rug. You know, I've been married for 13 years now, and I'm almost 35 years old. So there's things that I will no longer allow in my house being married. I don't know if anybody else has had that situation. Like, I won't allow whole cucumbers in my house no more. We all laughing, but there's a good damn reason I don't allow these in my house. One time I threw one away. My wife flipped out. She said, who threw away the cucumber? I said, I did. It wasn't any good. She said, shit, speak for yourself. That was the best sex I had in 10 years. So now when she comes in with the cucumbers, I chop them up. I make them look like the little Caucasians that I seen on the Google. Anyway, you know, we all been having a tough time with all this, you know, COVID stuff, whether it's been personally affected by you know, sickness or finances. You know, people are losing their businesses, people are losing their homes, their livelihood. I mean, so many things just worldwide, and people are hurting so much. And with this, I don't have a joke, but what I do have is a sincere hope that we are going to make it together, that we learn to laugh at each other, we learn to laugh at ourselves, we learn to respect each other, treat each other with love and respect, because the only thing that's going to get us through all this shit is each other. So keep on laughing, guys. Keep on making each other laugh. If you ain't laughing, you ain't living. I'm Doug Sterner. It's always a pleasure to be out here, guys. Happy Thanksgiving.
Hey. Love you, man.
Very good, very good.
Definitely talked about getting pulled over by the cops and arrested. Back in my drinking days, I got a DUI in my wheelchair. Fucking speed bumps. And, you know, we always try to learn about our comics. And like I thought while Doug was performing, like I wonder where he's from. And then I remember it is right here, his mother, Pam Turner. So, welcome, Pam.
Hi, Pam.
Hi, how are y'all?
That's the reason that I don't get parenting advice no more because of me.
Oh.
She was just looking at last week to see if it was too late for an abortion. And I'm telling her, Mom, I'm 35.
Well, I tell people the reason why we've been married for so long is because of Douglas. And it's basically because neither one of us wanted custody of him. So are you ready for me, Chris? Or?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, I just wanted to tell you guys, I too am a little bit new at this video comedy show thing. I remember when I was going to school, my speech teacher told me that if I ever was nervous when I speak in front of a group, just imagine the audience in their underwear. Oh my God, I don't have to imagine. You guys are all in your underwear. That's really freaky. But excuse me, sir, you can't be doing that on this video. That's on my fan page, and it's $30 a minute. Please stop. No, this is too much. But anyway, this COVID thing, oh my gosh, it's getting crazy. You know, one good thing though, you guys, about women being able to wear these masks now, everywhere I go, there's no guys telling me, well, if you just smile, you'd look prettier. So that's kind of an advantage, I think. And at my job, we got a new cleaning service. They put up signs everywhere. Wear a mask, wash your hands. In the women's restroom, they put up a sign in every stall and it says, do not flush feminine products down the toilet. And I thought, well, that seems kind of odd. So I went to the men's bathroom to see if they had any signs up there. And turns out, no, evidently the men are allowed to shit in the toilet. So that just doesn't seem very fair at all. And then in the kitchen, they had another sign. This is actually a true sign. And it says something about when coming in contact with a live farm animal, use protection. Hashtag sheep lives matter. Hashtag me too. So anybody that knows me very long knows that I have major insomnia. So my husband bought me one of those sleep number beds. Then when he got home, he told me, he says, well, I know what your sleep number is. It's 1,500 because that's what the damn bed costs. And as he was putting it together, he put in the numbers 6 and 9. And I said, what are you doing that for? He said, I wanted to see if half the bed would turn around. I thought, that's really stupid. I don't want to sleep next to your feet. So anyway, I experimented with it a little bit, found out that my sleep number is actually 8. And then I went away for the weekend. And I came back and the sleep number on my side of the bed had changed. It was 9. I told Doug, I said, hey, what's going on? Why is the sleep number on my side of the bed changed to 9? He said, well, you know my best friend, John? I go, yeah. Well, him and his wife had an argument, so he needed a place to sleep. We have this big king-size bed. I said he could sleep on your side of the bed. Does he think I'm an idiot? John's sleep number is 12. So then he tried to tell me my best friend, Susie, you know, that hot redhead, she came over and she slept on your side of the bed. Oh, Doug, that is bullshit because Susie's sleep number is 3. Not that she normally sleeps when she comes over, but so after some digging, I did find out that that was the dog sleep number, which I think explains the jar of peanut butter that was on the nightstand. Anyway, now Doug's sleep number is 3 because that's how many pillows are on the couch. But I finally got to the part of my life where my 4 favorite words are, your prescriptions are ready. I love that. And my favorite prescription is Ambien. You know, I did find out that Ambien and Jack and Facebook don't go together well. Don't do that, because one day I logged on and I found out that all the sheep were missing from my farm. And also 5 guys had poked me and I didn't remember anything about it. But my husband used to love the ambient sex we would have. That's the time that was the sex we'd have between the time I'd take the Ambien and the time it knocked me out. I would get so adventurous. I would do anything. And my husband liked that until one night when he couldn't find me. Then he looked out the window, he saw me getting it on with the neighbor. And at that time, I didn't even know I liked women in that way. I wouldn't have known it, but he recorded the whole thing. You can get that on ambientsex.com/Pamela Sterner, $50. Pays a lot better than this comedy gig thing does. But anyway, my husband recently started to take that little blue wonder pill, Viagra. And Ambien's also a little blue pill. So I said, this is going to work out great. You take your little blue pill, I'll take my little blue pill. As long as you don't wake me up, we'll both be happy. But the next morning, my ass was killing me. I'm Pamela Sterner, and that's my story.
Thank you very much. How about a big hand for Pamela? But my sleep number is 0. I fall off the fucking bed. So I will go from Puebla, Colorado, all the way out to Indiana, where we have a friend of mine who also has cerebral palsy and is very funny. Please welcome Andy Imlay.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, so you remember a few years ago when Kim Kardashian had Bell's palsy? Yeah, people kept walking up to me asking me if I had Bell's palsy, and I thought that was kind of weird, but I had a fascination with ringing the bell outside of the Salvation Army, so that's probably why they thought I had Bell's palsy. Turns out, like Chris said, I've actually got cerebral palsy, which just means I like to sit alone in my room and play Tetris and do fractions and watch Jeopardy. That's kind of weird, right? Yeah, COVID's been kind of weird. Everybody's been isolating and that kind of thing. They're like, Andy, has that been weird for you? And I'm like, no, that was pretty much public school for me. Like, I don't understand why that was weird for anybody else. Growing up with a disability was weird though, guys. My mom used to keep me locked up in the basement. Yeah, I thought that was kind of weird because we lived in a trailer. We didn't even have a basement. But the weirdest part though is I have 2 younger brothers that somehow unfortunately don't have a disability. Not sure how I got the shitty end of that lottery, but I'd like to draw those numbers again, please. Yeah, they always like to make fun of me as little brothers do, right? They're like, Andy, we can't believe it. You were born a preemie. I was like, look, guys, that stands for premium, okay? You spent 9 months in while I got out early for good behavior. Yeah, I don't recommend that. It's not the greatest thing in the world. It's like taking a bag of popcorn out too early. You can't put that shit back in. Trust me. My mom's like, what the hell do you think you're doing? I'm like, going where it's warm, Mom. She's like, no, you're not. No, you're not. It was weird though in school. You guys remember doing the fire drill? That was weird for me because they're like, okay, everybody line up. It's time for the fire drill. Andy, you stay right here. We'll be right back. Where are you guys going? Like, I want to go too. Like, I'm looking at the fish tank, wondering if it's a good idea to try to jump in or if I got a few minutes left, right? Then the firefighter shows back up. He's like, Andy, what are you doing here? And I'm like, first off, how do you know my name? It's like, everybody knows your name in this school. And I'm like, well, I hope you're good at that fireman's carry because we're about to get some practice real quick, right? And gym class was kind of weird, right? It scared the shit out of me. It was like physical education, right? It's like, holy shit, I can't do this, right? They were like, today, class, we're going to run a mile. Andy, we've got an important job for you. You're going to hold the stopwatch. I was like, great, I can do this, right? Except for Brad in my class. Brad was kind of an asshole. Brad was like, Andy, you better get my time right. I'm going to pound you out on the playground. I'm like, oh, really, Brad? Like you did your mom last night? Yeah. That was weird because we're in 6th grade and Brad's like, that's weird, Andy. Like, why are you talking about my mom like that? And I'm like, well, Brad, that's the first time I've ever motorboated without a life jacket on. Yeah, right. I got to that point in my life where I was tired of my mom pushing me around and talking behind my back. So I decided to run away from home one day, right? And my mom's like, fine, see how far you get, right? And so mom found me like 2 weeks later at the end of the driveway. Like, Andy, where the hell are you going? I'm like, somewhere much faster, Mom, if we could pave this driveway. I know we're poor, but Jesus, these rocks are tough on my knees. Right? And so I decided to finally move out. And there's things you can do living by yourself that you normally can't do living with other people. Like, for instance, on Thursday nights, I like to eat pickles with nothing but a helmet and some swimming goggles on. Like, okay, Andy, we can picture you in a helmet. Like, we totally pictured that when you first got on this call, but why the swimming goggles, right? You ever got one of those big pop of pickles from the gas station? You ever bitten at one of those? It's for my own protection, right? Except that weird part when I get that knock at the door and I got to make that life choice. I'm going to take an hour to put my pants back on. Fun fact, I'm not wearing any right now. So when I answer the door, the guy's like, Jesus Christ. I said, great, you found him. You want to come in? We can get the seance going. I got some candles. You know, I'm feeling the healing on a Thursday, right? Jehovah's Witness looks at me and goes, that ain't how this works. I'm like, okay. Would you like a pickle? You know, he looked at both my pickles and shut the door. Fine. Hey, don't pickle party. See if I care, right? Word got back to my mom, though. My mom flipped out on me. She goes, Andy, you can't be answering the door like that. You really need Jesus now. And I'm like, fine, Mom, if that's what you want, I'll go to church. I'm Catholic, so I went to church, right? Introduced myself to the preacher. I said, look, Father, you've got these healing masses on Wednesday nights. I saw them in the bulletin, but yet you've still got a whole row of handicap parking. Like, what's that success rate? He said, Andy, that's not very funny. I believe you're going to go to hell for that. I said, that's okay, Father. I know I'm going to hell. He said, how can you be so sure? I said, because there's a highway to hell and a stairway to heaven. Can you imagine me and Chris having a foot race on that stairway? Yeah, it would take us a long fucking time to get there. I'm going to tell you that right now. Stephen Hawking died last year and he's about halfway up right now. They're going, damn it, I'm almost there. He's really pissed at me for that joke. So I've been married about 3 years now. It's been weird. It's been interesting. About 2 months ago, my wife gave birth to a beautiful baby girl, which was awesome, right? I became a new father, right? And you have those weird feelings about becoming a new father. You're not sure how shit's gonna go because they don't give you a manual on how this shit works, right? I got real scared because she's like, okay, we need to child-proof the house. I said, great. So we got all the stuff. We installed it, right? I haven't been able to open my kitchen cabinet in like 2 weeks. I'm on the best diet of my fucking life. I'm telling you right now. It's like that keto shit, right? I went to the bathroom. I couldn't open the toilet lid, so I just pissed in the bathtub. It's like, holy shit, right? I actually had to go to a clinic here in Indiana, right? Because they wanted to make sure that I was the father of this baby. Yeah, the clinic in Indiana was called Who's Your Daddy?
Hoosier.
Yeah, I like that one a lot. Right. And the nurse kept asking me weird questions when my daughter was in the NICU because she was born a little early, just like I was. I guess she was trying to take after her old man. I kept trying to tell her not to quit do that. Don't do that shit. It's not fun. Promise you. I'm still scared of water slides till this day, kid. Like, don't do it. PTSD, man. Right. Nurse asks me weird questions like, have you thought about who's going to teach your kid how to walk? I'm like, well, fuck, it's not going to be me. Like, do we need to hire somebody? Is she going to give me lessons? Like, how's this work, right? I'm scared though, because it's my first daughter, right? And when they start dating, it's really weird, right? Like, do I meet her boyfriend at the door and say, you know, look, if you don't have her home by 10 p.m., I don't have a problem going back to the group home. I barely busted out of there like 2 weeks ago. I can go back and get my crew and we'll roll up on you. Like, you'll be in tons of trouble, right? And I'm gonna leave you guys with this. It's always weird having a kid because they ask me weird questions like, are you going to be involved in the care of your daughter, right? Are you going to be involved in the feeding and the changing and all that kind of stuff? They said, Andy, do you know how to change a diaper? I said, well, of course. I changed mine before I just came in here, right? Oh, wow. Well, Chris, I appreciate it. I've been Andy Emily. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you very much. You better be in for Andy.
Yay.
Yeah. Andy, having cerebral palsy, he also makes money as my stunt double.
I look like Chris after he used some Just for Men.
Okay, so we come back to Colorado, and one of the comments that toured around with me and Chuck is the one and only Frankie P. Is you there, Frankie?
I'm here.
Hey,
Hey, can you guys see me? Hey, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. How we all doing?
good, man. Happy Turkey Day.
Oh, everybody got the turkey. Every
Yeah.
tired.
Yeah.
Hey, I just want to wish everybody, you know, happy holidays and a quick shout out for Joseph Luna, everybody. I think, you know, this is why we're here tonight. You know, amen to that guy. That guy is an awesome person, man. He's going to be definitely going to be missed. And just a quick story about Mr. Joseph Luna. I remember years ago when I was on tour with Chris, we went out to Los Angeles and actually no, it was Ontario, and he picked us up from the airport. You know, it was a long day of traveling, and Chris was tired, so he wanted to go back to the hotel. And so I asked Joe, you know, when you go to, Southern California, what's the first thing, you know, most people look for? In-N-Out Burger, right? So I was like, hey, is there an In-N-Out Burger kind of close by? And he's like, yeah, I could take you, you know, cool guy, you know, never met me before, his first time. We dropped Chris off at the hotel. We drive 20 minutes to an In-N-Out Burger. We're talking away. And I was like, yeah, I'm just going to order some burgers, you know. And he goes, burgers? I was like, yeah, you know, I like to eat this stuff. I ordered 2 hamburgers, 2 fries, a milkshake, and a soda. By the time we got back to the hotel, I had already ate it all. And he looked over at me and he goes, I have never seen anybody eat that much food at your size in the amount of time. And I was like, yeah, you know, this is just, you know, we don't have this out in Colorado. We probably never will. Now we have one. And if you want to eat, the only thing about In-N-Out Burger, it's a 12-hour wait. So if you want to, you know, if you want to get a hamburger, you actually got to bring a sack lunch with you. You don't starve. You know, it's a 12-hour wait. So, but anyways, I don't know if you guys know this, but I've actually been in a relationship for the past almost going on 4 years now, and I didn't, you know, what I didn't realize getting into a relationship is that you actually, I didn't know I inherited a automobile executive assistant. I don't know if you guys have had one of those before, but the automobile assistant, it's great. You're in the car, everything is, you know, they tell you when it's green, they tell you where to turn, they tell you when to pay attention. And they get really super frustrated, even when you accelerate just a little bit. And they always accuse you of not paying attention to the road. But you'll be driving by and they're like, hey, when did they put the come and go over there? Look at that, another one is up there. But pay attention. I got to work on that a little bit. The other day, I was talking to my cousin. He works for Boeing, or he did. He was actually one of the design engineers on the 737 MAX jets. Did you guys hear about that? They actually went back into service. And it's kind of funny to me. There's something wrong with engineers. I don't know what it is. I told my cousin, you're kind of retarded. It's not even that. You got some kind of brain damage that allows you to not have people skills, but you can design and write code all day. They're all the same. And he's like, what do you mean? I go, well, the 737 MAX jet, 2 crashes. That's why they grounded them. You know what he tells me? Well, they just want to make the planes more fuel efficient. This is my problem with engineers. This is the point I'm making. Instead of saying, oh my gosh, you know what? You're right, man. There's 350 people died. It's a tragedy. I hope they get this fixed. I was on that team. We have design flaws. No, we want to make it more fuel efficient. So I looked at him. I was like, so you mean to tell me the NTSB is walking through all the rubble, looking through stuff, dead bodies, parts, machine equipment. They're like, man, what a tragedy. But at least they had a half a tank of gas left. So the other day, Southwest Airlines announced that they have pilots. They're going to put all their 737 MAX jets back in the air. So basically, they said, we're going to put our jets back in the air. We're going to give our pilots a whole 2 hours of training this week to get them ready. And I'm thinking to myself, 2 hours? It takes my lady to get her hair done in 2 hours. Don't you need more time than that? 2 hours. I'm not getting on one of those planes. This is the thing about flying. I hate getting on a plane, but God, I love getting off that thing. Chris is one of those guys, you're on the flight and it's taking off, and he's one of these. Pass out. I'm not like a nervous flyer, but I do remember, it's just funny to me that the way planes are and the way, flight attendants act. I remember I was flying out of Tulsa one time, and of course Southwest Airlines they have their cute little jokes. And she gets on and she's like, we're gonna before takeoff today, we're gonna have a little bit of a riddle. What is another word for a silent puppy? I was like, I don't know, a Korean entree. Earlier tonight, somebody was talking about how Italians, we talk with our hands. We do. That's why deaf people like us. Some of the stuff I'm got to work with a little bit. Something I was talking to my neighbor the other day, and they had the nicest garden I've ever seen in my life. I like gardens. Okay, I'm Italian. I like peppers. I like basil. I like garlic. I like all that stuff. Okay, I'm from Detroit, Michigan. We have a big Italian population out there. I grew up with all this kind of food, good food, gardens. Okay, I used to have a nice garden. I was telling them about it. The reason why I don't, they're like, well, why don't you have a garden? And I was like, you have the whole garden bed, you have the whole setup, but you don't grow nothing at all. I was like, you know why? Because that dog I have over there, my pit bull, love the dog. Okay, she's an anchor. I don't care what anybody says. Yeah, you can love your pets all they want. They're still anchors at the end of the day. The anchor does not have self-control. What I mean is, this is my point. The dog would go eat my tomatoes like a damn deer. She would eat my basil, my garlic, everything. I went outside one time, and she knows it's bad because she puts her tail between her legs. I'm like, what are you doing? Puts her head back. She just like walks the other way. Just eats it. Eats all it. So I can't have a garden. She destroys it. She has impulse issues. You know what I mean by that? People have impulse issues, right? Self-control is something that we need to learn a little bit better. My dog, she has self-control issues. So bad, it's just like a teenage boy with Pornhub. Self-control, they don't have it. I have to tell my girl's 8-year-old, hey, before you go to your brother's room, knock on the door. Why? Trust me. You don't want to walk, you don't want to walk in there. Well, what's going on in there? And I'm like, I'm not going to walk for his door. and don't touch anything. I mean, I get it. I was a teenager once too, you know. I mean, but back in, you know, when I was a teenager, then the Sears catalog came in, you snagged that thing. You know, nowadays, now I know why these kids want the bigger iPhone. And they're 45-minute showers and they need time alone. I need time alone. Yeah. Always knock on the door. If you got teenage boys, yeah, knock. And then walk and then run. Don't even run. So anyways, yeah, I was it's funny. I grew up with this guy. He's from Iran, and I've known him for like 32 years. He's Persian. They're Persian, right? He's Persian. They're funny people. I started to learn about their language over the years. And it's good that you learn about other languages and cultures, because you know what? Sometimes you want to know if they're talking about you. Guess what? Sometimes they are. I didn't realize this over the years. One time he called, his brother called him, and he answered the phone. In Farsi, he starts speaking. He goes, salam shatori. Bezam. Oh yeah, Frankie. Bezam, Hodafis. Yeah, Frankie. Khosro. Merci, Hodafis. And I'm like, what the hell did he just say? And then finally I figured it out. I talked to his nephew the other day because I had him translate. I was like, hey, what was he saying on the phone? Oh, he just said, oh, Frank, because I asked Sean, I was like, what were you saying? He's like, oh, I just told my brother you're here hanging out. So I asked his nephew the other day, I was like, hey, you overheard the conversation. What was he saying? He was like, oh, all he said was this dumbass here bet on the damn Broncos and lost his fucking ass. He's an idiot. I'm going to have to teach him how to gamble. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. You got to learn the languages, because when you think they're talking about you, they are. Yeah, I know Douglas was talking earlier about, you know, the deadliest catch and stuff. I was watching that show with a former roommate of mine, and he was, you know, he thinks he's God's gift to women. I can get any girl I want. I'm on Tinder, I'm on all these websites. I'm a hot dude. And we were watching that show, Deadliest Catch, and he was like, you know, I think I'm going to go work on one of those boats. I was like, you should. Wouldn't it be the first time you caught crabs? It's funny today. You know, I was thinking about today. I was like, man, the missus. She was like, hey, you know what? You never told me what you wanted for Christmas. You know what I'm telling you guys all this right now. You know what I'm going to tell her I want for Christmas? And this is the only thing I want from her for Christmas. For her to look at me every day from this point of view. Hey, that's all I got, everybody. Hey, I appreciate everybody. You guys are awesome, man. I'm Frankie P, and it's good to be out here with you guys on this glorious Thanksgiving Day. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much, and hope to see y'all soon. Once we get off house arrest, right, everybody?
All right.
Yeah. Thank you, Frankie. How about a big hand?
Right on, Frankie.
Frankie.
Cheers, everybody.
So let me not go to Pornhub. Okay.
If you do, just, you know, do it on an Apple so that way you don't get viruses.
Exactly.
See, teenagers teach us these things.
Yeah, I'm bringing up another guy who toured with us in New York, my best friend, who I incidentally met like within 5 days of meeting Shrek, which is pretty fucking cool. But please welcome V-Hill.
Woo! What's up, man?
It wasn't a competition, just so you know, but I'm his best friend. This is pretty cool. I'm glad to be here. Thank you guys for having me. That gets me away from the game that I play every day, which is Marvel Strike Force. Anybody else? No. It's a good way to spend 14 or 15 hours every single day. And if you ever get an opportunity, you should definitely play it. Infinite 10. Anyway, I'm here to commemorate my friend Joe. And it was, I think everybody knows him by a different name. Joseph Luna, or AKA Shrek, AKA Joe El Cholo. He was Latino, so obviously he had a lot of aliases. Wanted by the cops, you know. As a matter of fact, the first time he got on stage, he had the big bright light on stage, and he was like, "Oh shit, the cops are here!" Yeah, thought he was getting arrested. He did, but I mean, you know, it was a bummer. Actually, it's that chick, like the first time he got on stage, he was I think he had like 150 of his closest family members there, you know, to to watch the show, and of course he killed it. Way different than my first time on stage, where it started out. My set started with like, "Hey, can I pay you $50?" And then she was like, "All right, if you just want to talk, that's fine." But it was a prostitute. Anyway, one of the last videos that Joe shared was he was in the laundry room and he was saying no matter what your disability, he was a double amputee. No matter what your disability is, you got to keep your head up and you got to take care of business. And I thought, man, that's really easy for you, because he only had one outfit, and that was it. He wore it every day. You guys saw him every shot. Oh wait, I wait till after. No, I'm just kidding. I have a lot in common with Joe. I felt a solid connection with him because we were both bastard children of Chris Fonseca. Chris spread his comedy seed all over the country, and we're what came from it. We both started in comedy the same way. We went to a Chris Fonseca show, got to be friends with the legend, and eventually we got up there and we did it ourselves. You know, we started making people laugh. So I think Chris, you probably owe some compensation to our families for all the time that we get away, all the hours on the road, concentrating on writing jokes. But it's seriously been like the best part of my life, and because of that, I get to meet people like Joe Luna, Joseph, and Fonseca, who is my best friend, and Sarah. Matt, I don't get to hang out with you very often, man, but we should stop meeting on these Zoom things. Ron, I love you, man. And this is there was a lot of stuff going on in my mind as this came down with Joseph, and I just want to say this is from me being an electrician and a comedian and a father, brother. We can only take care of each other. We're only as strong as the person next to us. And I was pretty lucky to have people like Joseph in my life, because I was always waiting for that next thing that he was about to do. You know, I think that Facebook or social media probably has helped out with that, about people sharing experiences and accomplishments, and it's pretty amazing. And we all feel something hurt. We come together in a situation like this where we're excited to to share our pain as well as our pleasure and laughter. And I think that's amazing. And I don't have any more jokes. I didn't want to do too much time. I just wanted to say I'm really appreciating all the support that I've gotten from a lot of people, and that hopefully we can share that same support for the family and his sons that he left behind. And if anybody gets an opportunity, if you could make a couple donations. I think there's a GoFundMe going around. You can find it on my page at Vincent Vigil. I'll share it to Vincent Vigil Comedy also. And you guys just now take it and fucking run with it. I think Sean's coming up next, so make him laugh.
Yeah.
I love you guys.
Love you, man. Thank you very much. And,
Hey, there she is.
man,
You guys too.
Love you too, baby. Coral.
by the way, I realized that somehow I skipped over Matt, which is a big feat because to skip over Matt, I would need a hell of a pole vote.
Right.
Matt, are you there? You alive?
Wake up, Matt.
Please.
Huh? What? Huh? What?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Oh,
Into Matt.
sorry. Hey. Oh. Yeah. Oh, sorry. It must have been some too much turkey. Sorry about that. Hi, everybody. How's it going? Happy Thanksgiving. I suppose before I get started, I should address the elephant in the room. My name is Matt, and I like Thanksgiving because I can talk about the things like breasts and thighs and legs and bones, and nobody looks at me weird for once. So yeah. Anyway, I recently retired. We'll get into how old I am in a minute, but yeah, I recently retired from essential work. Actually, I worked in broadcasting. I can't say where because non-disclosures, but you've seen stuff I do on TV, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, I won't say directly which TV company I used to work for. So anyway, when I first got when the whole COVID thing first came out, the masks, everybody had to wear masks, and because we were essential, we had to show up every day because if we didn't show up, every time you turned on your TV, you'd see this. So yeah, we had to be there. So they tried to order some masks, and they said, well, they didn't have any supplies. FEMA ordered everything and bought everybody out. Got any supplies left, so you gotta have to go online and figure out ways to do things. So I went onto the Google, and I'm doing props today too. And they said a good thing to do is to get some boxer briefs and use those, and they had a whole thing. So I went down to the Walmart and I got some boxer briefs. I got a 3-pack. These are new. All right, I didn't used to these were never worn before anybody gets any ideas. All right, and then they said, okay, so here, they said, okay, put it on like this. Okay, there's part one right there. And you kind of come around like so and twist this one around this way. And hang on. It's hard to do without a mirror. And this camera doesn't really work as a mirror too well. So anyway, and then come around over the top. And there is the makeshift boxer briefs mask. And they were like $8 or something. And I'm looking in the mirror. I'm like, hey, I look a lot like my Saudi cousin, Hazan bin Laid. He lives in Orange County, California. He likes to. He's just like, hey, dude, Allahu Akbar or whatever. You're like infidels or some shit, and I'm gonna I don't know, blow up your Twitter or something. All right, let's talk at a time later. Peace. So anyway, a couple of weeks I had to go around doing, and then one day the general manager's wife decided she was going to make a bunch for everybody, and then we got these wonderful masks. So I got to go in this Darth Vader looking thing for a while, which is cool. And my other essential job, which I do now in my post-retirement job, is I deliver for Grubhub. So they send me a couple of masks every week. So it's kind of cool. And it's kind of weird because it's I think about everybody talks about how life is different now. And I remember just a couple of maybe a year ago, things waving at somebody was considered microaggressions. And nowadays it's you better be careful because your breath can kill someone. So yeah, things have changed. It's different, but it's kind of weird because I think the whole PC thing is kind of taking a little bit of a break because the things that I hear coming out of my mouth sometimes are just I probably would have gotten not Me Too'd, but canceled or whatever a year ago. Cause like I said, I work for Grubhub and I have this order from McDonald's, and some of the places you can go in and pick it up, and other ones you can go to the drive-through, and you have to, and you never know which one, so you just go. So I pull up to the McDonald's, and I figure I'll just give the drive-through a shot. This one's usually just the drive-through, so I pull up, and the woman answers, and she's, this is McDonald's. Can I help you? I says, yeah, I'm with Grubhub. I have an order. Is it okay to get it here, or would you like me to come inside? Yeah, ladies, would you like me to come inside? Yeah. And it's great. And, and then on the flip side, only during a global pandemic can a quote, strange person wearing a mask drive slowly through a neighborhood late at night, leave a suspicious package on someone's doorstep and walk away and not have the cops called on them. It's like, I don't know what the Mandela effect is, So, but yeah, like I said, I'm retired. I am old. They used to put ashtrays where those cup holders are now, years old. My parents, me, but I turned out okay, years old. I was born the year we faked the moon landing. Yeah, I have to say it that way because I used to say I was born the same year we landed on the moon. But if I say that now, some flat earther in the back sits there and is like, no, we didn't really land on the moon. That was fake. They filmed it on the soundstage in Santa Fe, New Mexico. No, shut up. Get off my lawn. Flat earth. I'm not going to go there because I know there's still some people who are on it. But I mean, their Facebook page itself says that they have members all around the globe. So come on, you can't really take it that seriously. So yeah, but people are like, hey, you have kids? No, I have an adult who has a kid of her own. Yeah, so like Doug, I have a daughter. Hashtag girl dad, baby. Yes. I don't know if I'm a good dad or not, but she went away for cigarettes about 2 years ago and just came back last week. So you figure that one out for yourself. I don't know. But in my defense, okay, I didn't know she existed until she was 8. So that's a whole long story. You're going to have to read the book on that one. It's a part of a different set. But anyway, becoming a grandfather really has turned me into my father. And it's kind of scary because, like I said, the things that you hear coming out of your mouth sometimes just kind of weird you out. And I'm thinking back to when my granddaughter was still 5 or 6 months old. The kids had come out for a visit. They weren't living with us at the time. And I just worked 2 straight weeks, 12-hour shifts, 16 days straight. And I was just enjoying a nice Sunday afternoon. I'm holding my little grandbaby in my arms, and I'm just kind of caressing her. Oh, wait, I'm holding her and just kind of caressing her in my arms like she's falling asleep and whatever. And my phone goes off, and it's the neighbor, and he says, hey, there's some kid in a pickup truck parked out in front of your house. Do you know anything about that? And I'm like, no, I'm just sitting here with my granddaughter. And no big. Then all of a sudden, a bunch of other neighbors start texting me and my wife, and they're, what's going on? And I'm like, why is everybody asking me? Why am I the expert on strange kids sitting in a pickup truck in the front of the house? It's like, how am I supposed to know? Well, you're the block captain. Shouldn't you know these things? Isn't it that friend of yours? I'm like, well, if it's that friend of mine, he's going to show up and ring on the door. Here, can I come in? I'm your friend. So I'm just getting pissed off, right? And the baby's asleep, and I'm just really getting mad, right? And I just flustered, and I just get up. And I storm out the front door, and I swear to God, I transform into the drill sergeant from Full Metal Jacket. What in the name of Jesus H. Christ are you animals doing on my street? What did you think you could come over to my house and fuck my sister? Why, you're so ugly. You look like you could be a modern art masterpiece. Of course, the whole time, baby's in my arms, right? Sleeping soundly. Looks to me like the best part of you ran down the crack of your mama's ass when there was a brown stain on the mattress. Why, you listen to me, you scroungy little fuck. I'll give you exactly 3 fucking seconds to get your ass off of my street, or I will gouge out your eyeballs. And right at that moment, my son-in-law comes running out. He says, hey, give me the baby. So he takes her, and he just kind of in the house, and I kind of get woken back into reality, right? Realizing that I just spent the last 10, 15 minutes screaming at the top of my head in the middle of the street holding a baby, and all of my neighbors are on their front porch looking at me like, oh, what the hell's going on with this guy? And the only thing I'm thinking to myself at that moment is Jesus Christ, I hope none of them has their phone out and is recording this or is live streaming, because the last thing I want is somebody to yell out something like, well, stop! And I'm going viral. Angry grandpa goes on epic get off my lawn rant in Colorado Springs. Yeah, no. Don't want to be known for that. Anyway, I suppose with this. Some of you know that I am also a minister, a man of faith, and I figured this would probably be a good time for me to say a few words, as it were, I suppose. The thing that a lot of people say to me in times like this is, Reverend Matt, how can you expect me to believe in a God that lets something like this happen? Say, first of all, I don't expect you to believe in anything. Faith is your choice. Faith is your decision. That's between you and whatever you want to believe. And this God lets everything happen. We have free will. So it's going to happen no matter what. And the only explanation I have for it is, oddly enough, Newton's law of thermodynamics. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. There is no up without down. There is no light without dark. So the good and the bad have to always be there. As much as it sucks, just know that one day it's going to be good again. And while it's good, remember one day it's going to suck again. So you may as well enjoy the good while it's there. I'm Matt G, and if you like what you see, tell the haters what they're missing. Peace.
Thank you very much, Matt G. Nobody began.
That was good.
Yeah. And we're gonna go back to Denver. And my good buddy Ron Ferguson, who also toured with me, Pablo, and the gang, new Joseph Schreck. Please, Ron Ferguson.
Hey, what's up, Ronnie? What's up, guys? Happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for having me on, Chris. Chris has brought us all together. It's interesting how much of an influence he has on the community, and that's why we're all here. So to honor Shrek as I knew him. And yeah, so Chris has inspired all of us to, not all of us, but most of us to push our career forward, and Shrek, to, of course, to get on stage. You know, it's pretty cool to see him chase his dream and actually do it. So yeah, Chris is kind of like the Charles Manson of comedy, because he loves to kill, and he builds families. So, so yeah, so I appreciate that. Thanks, Chris, for killing. So yeah, the COVID is a big thing happening this year. I got tested, came back negative, so that's good. I asked my girl to go get tested. She came back. She's like, I'm positive. I'm like, which was, you know, kind of shocked me. So I said, why are you so excited about it? She's like, no, because I'm pregnant. You took the wrong test. So I'm hoping she has COVID to resolve that problem. Did you guys have a good Thanksgiving? Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. I had 25 people show up at my place. I don't know. I can't have that, you know, the limited seating. So I just started doing my comedy show. I walked 15 people, so that was good. Some things never change. I'm still bombing after I've been on stage since March, so I still got it. Of course, for stockpiling the toilet paper, almost said wallpaper. Almost stockpiling the toilet paper, not because of COVID, because In-N-Out is out now open, so that's important for Denverites. But it's getting boring at the house here, you know. It's kind of boring. I watch a lot of movies but I'm not, you know, one of those people who falls asleep during the movies. You know, I fall asleep during the trailer, so I'm not into movies, well, unless it has Hub at the end. But my girl, she likes foreign films. She's trying to get me to watch foreign films. You know, she wanted to, even Broadway shows. She wanted me to go see Lady Miserables or something like that. At the end of that, I try to turn her on to some foreign films I like Rambo 4, when he goes to Russia. So, literally. It snowed here the other day in Colorado, which is not unusual. Pretty cold. I have the truck nuts on my pickup truck. So cold, the nuts went up into the bumper. pretty cool. Then I went driving, and it gets pretty boring out there driving, you know, COVID. So started popping a few drinks. Got pulled over. Cops like, "You been drinking?" I said, "I had 17 White Claws." He goes, "No, I mean alcohol." So I got away with that. So. Football, Bronco fans out there? Bronco fans still make some noise, Bronco fans? My uncle's a Bronco fan. He's been wearing an orange jumpsuit and blue shoes for 37 years. Hasn't seen one game yet. I was messing around on the internet today. Googled my ex-girlfriend's name. Now my computer has a virus. That makes two of us. Hope you guys stay safe out there. Got my unemployment check. Bought some more beer. You know, I call it a fun employment check. But times are tough. Times are tough. You know, I have kids. I have a wife, family, grandmother. I have to take. You know, I don't have a job. So I'm looking at Uber, DoorDash, Postmates. Looks pretty good. So I have all my kids and my grandma working that shit. God bless you all. Thanks for tuning in. Happy Thanksgiving and rest in peace, Joe. Love you.
Thank you very much.
Good job.
Good job, Ronnie.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Chris.
Thank you. Sean Savoy, are you there in the great state of Maryland? Sean Savoy? I don't know if he's there. Sean?
He might check the bathroom. He's probably smoking.
Is weed legal in over there?
I'm not sure.
Because we might not want to be talking about this on the internet.
Exactly.
Yeah, they won't be able to tell based on Nama Blaze everywhere that he smokes.
Just
I see the child.
He's got a baby Yoda doll. I think that might tip off his
Yeah.
There's two.
I got one too.
Yeah, he might have passed out. Sean, are you there?
Maybe he's watching the Washington Apologies. I mean, the Washington football team and the Cowboys.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they need a name. They need a name. Washington Apologies.
They do need a name. And I think
one for my wife while I'm here. Nobody.
Hi, Becky.
Thanks for putting me on. And Regina. Hi, Regina. I noticed you had your dog there also. Is that a dog or a cat? I'm not seeing very clearly.
It's a dog.
The dog.
Yeah.
Nose.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't hear you, but I imagine you're saying something like, you know, it's a real dog.
Yeah, she's like the only real audience member on the Zoom call.
What am I? And Coral.
Well,
hello.
You're the best, Becky. Family.
Unintentional.
Like, yeah, so I think Sean is MIA. I apologize, but I think we're just gonna jump in and play the video of Joe, and I hope I can give him a proper introduction. Like I said, he was my bodyguard for over a decade. He started doing comedy and was killing it. And it's just sad that he passed so young, but let me share the video of Joe El Cholo and his family is watching, and so let me see. Of course, when I go to show the video, it is not coming up. So give me a minute.
That's how you know this is a live show.
Exactly. I swear.
Like doing a Zoom for school.
Yep.
Like
There got
Yeah,
finally
yeah,
got
I
to eat.
finally got my dinner. Sorry.
it is.
I'm about to go have another plate.
Take your hat, Sarah.
Yes. Yeah.
Thanks.
I'm not sure why this is not coming up. I swear that I tried it a couple times. Okay, is it coming up? Okay, here we go.
Live on YouTube.
Okay, is it?
Yep.
Can you see it now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, here is the man, Joe El Cholo.
Turn it up.
Can't hear it.
Can't hear it.
Well, he definitely looked funny. Thanks, Tony. Thanks for laughing at that. You're all right, Chris. We got all kinds of time. Galaxy's gone. That was Tony. Oh, there he is again. Dave's still there. Regina's back.
Right there.
And I'm unmuted this time.
Okay.
Ronnie.
Hold on.
Becky.
I was told that you can't hear it.
Right.
Okay, let me try this one more time. I apologize. I will rewind it. I got my sound all the way up. So hopefully this will work now. Can
Still not coming in.
Is that better?
We can see it, but we can't really understand what he's saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, the sound quality is really bad.
That is a very diverse crowd, though. You see all the different nationalities there?
Yeah. I have no idea why you can't hear it.
Yeah, bad.
It is a very diverse crowd, though. You see all the different nationalities there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I have no idea why
Are we in a loop? Is this- Oh shit! When did this end? I need to go to bed.
I may try to stop this. I will share the video on my Facebook page and on my YouTube also. I'm sorry if everyone out there share the video on my
Hey, Regina.
Yeah.
okay.
Are you actually outside like Sarah? Or is
No,
that
it's
like
just
a
a
weird
background. It's just a screen.
Okay.
have your own green screen?
Yeah.
You live in a studio?
Okay.
No, I'm just special.
What do you do for work?
I'm a caregiver.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Do you get paid to take care of that dog?
Huh?
You're doing a really good job. Do you get paid to take care of the dog because you're doing a really good job?
No, he takes care of me. This is my anxiety relief right here.
Oh, that's awesome.
He relieves all my anxiety.
So anyway, I'm going to share the video on Facebook in my
No, he takes care of me. This is my
But
anxiety.
something really went wrong.
Instant playback. I like that. This is like watching the dailies after we shoot an episode.
No kidding. I think Joe was like, hey, I might be in heaven, but I gotta go to fucking bed too. So anyway, I will sign off. And happy Thanksgiving to everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, man.
I will talk to y'all soon. Take care. Love.
Hey, Ron. Good seeing you.
You too. Bye.
And Frankie and Chris.
Yeah. Bye.
And Vince. Yes. How are you, Vince? Yes.
Sarah.
Where's Vincent, by the way?
Yeah.
Tony there.
All right, bye.